What's going on, Kyle? We are back for UFC Vegas 40. And the main event here is Aspen versus Dumont. And how'd we do last week?
Didn't do good.
Okay.
We were minus 7 units last week. But we bounced back. We picked Sanchez in the boxing Tyson Fury fight. And
Nice.
we also picked Tyson Fury. So the weekend was only a 2 unit loss. So
Perfect.
not horrible. We won. We already won it back.
Yep.
Dana White Contender Series went 2.15 units last night.
Perfect.
So we already got that back. So we're back
Aspen
on
agreed.
track. Yeah, we're
All
back
right.
on track.
And where can people get those picks first?
The email list, and we're on Substack now. The link to sign up is in my Twitter bio. It's on our YouTube page. It's basically everywhere now.
Yeah, it'll also be a pinned comment at the bottom of this video, so you can just click that and just throw your email in there, and then you will be good to go. All right, let's get rolling.
Just one more thing about the email list. Some people have told me it's going to the promotions. It's about 50-50 of people saying it's going to promotions folder, and the other 50% say it's just normal. So just check all your folders for the email list for the first one. And if it is in your promotions, you can always just click a tab to make it go to your regular folder.
Yeah, right, because it's coming from Substack now, so that might get filtered by some of the email filters, depending on who you have.
Yeah. But yeah, let's
All right.
just get started right into the card. We
All
got
right.
Istela Nunes versus Ariane Carnelossi. Low level fight.
Very low level.
I had
Although
never.
Carnelosi's not terrible.
She's not short, stocky,
Yeah.
jacked, absolutely jacked for a female fighter. She did get beat by Angela Hill, but Angela Hill basically beats anyone that's not top 10.
Yeah, that is true.
From what I've seen from Estela Nunes, I had never heard of her until she signed for this fight. From what I've seen, she's a good stand-up striker. She comes from one championship, and she's got a Muay Thai background, multiple-time Muay Thai champion. She seems tough, but I think Carnelossi in the wrestling is gonna be able to stifle her here.
I think those fucking triceps of Carnelosi's are gonna stifle the hell out of Estela Nunes. And
Yeah,
those
I
delts.
I agree. We don't have to spend much time on that fight.
Yeah, probably a stay away though.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
Low
not gonna
low
touch
level
that
women's low level women's MMA armbar from guard is definitely in play.
for sure. The next fight here, we have one of your guys, Scott, in Danaa.
Danaa.
Danaa
Danaa.
Batgerel versus Brandon Davis. The return of Brandon Davis.
Yes.
Um, Brandon Davis is a guy. He never should have been kicked out of the UFC. He never should have been cut from the roster. He was cut after a loss to Giga. I mean, that's not fair.
How can you fault someone for losing a Giga, right?
Right. And
He's running through everyone.
he actually did not look bad against Giga. I know Giga back then wasn't exactly the same guy he is now, especially not the killer he is because he
Right.
was going to decision with everyone back then. But Brandon Davis stood with him and showed some good heart. Brandon Davis is a guy who's basically he's good at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, his best attribute might be his cardio and his willingness to just keep coming.
Right.
That's what I think gave Giga a little bit of a shock. But Danaa here, I think Danaa is the real deal.
He is absolutely the real deal. I think what
Yeah,
was his last fight? A minute long?
yeah,
1 minute TKO?
oh yeah. He's got crazy accuracy with his strikes.
Yes.
Huge power. He's very strong for the division overall. Good takedown defense. He had a close fight with Alatang, and then now
Yes.
he's got two first round KOs in a row. Looking to make it three. And even though Brandon Davis is very tough, I think Danaa might make it three.
Yeah. Danaa
There,
probably also still hunts wolves with eagles, as is tradition in Mongolia.
it's a style clash, and the style clash does not go Brandon Davis's way.
Definitely
Um,
not.
he's more of a brawler, and Danaa is like a sniper, and the sniper usually wins that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that style, we have the exact same style in our next fight with Nate Landwehr versus Ludovit Klein. In our write up for the email list, I basically said It's not worth writing up either fighter because this is not a close fight. Ludovit Klein is a fucking monster, and he's going to win this fight.
Yeah.
I see their wrestling kind of canceling each other out because one thing Nate Landwehr does have is he's a good wrestler. I think Ludovit gets a first round KO. Landwehr's chin has been failing him after getting knocked out by Burns and DeRosa. Klein hits harder than both of them. So
Yeah, and I think Ludovit Klein lost his last fight, right? I think
he did.
we lost money on him last time.
Yep,
So I think they're tossing him an easy dub back here, get him back into contention.
I agree, and I think I think he shows why he had so much hype on him. I think this is going to be an easy win for Ludovit.
Yeah.
Parlay
Yep.
piece for sure. Parlay.
Yes. Yeah. Tie him in there.
Yep. That moves us on, and Scotty, the next fight we just went over this fighter. She took this fight on a week notice. Lupita Godinez is back. She's fighting 1 week after a win versus
Yep.
Luana Carolina.
Loopy.
She looked great in her last fight. Her hands are fast. She's got great takedowns. And against Carolina, who she had a lot of promise coming into the UFC. She lost to our girl, the Queen of Violence.
Yeah.
And then
Who has not looked bad in her last fight.
No, she has
She's
not.
definitely improved. Definitely improved.
Yeah, and then
For a while there, she was looking not so good.
agreed.
She figured it out.
And then Carolina won a split decision over Poliana Botello, who is not good. I don't like that Lupita's taking a fight so close to her last fight. That scares me a little bit, but I have to say she wins here.
Yeah. I don't see Luana Carolina coming in here and getting a win over the menace that is Loopy Godinez, even on 1 week's notice.
Yeah.
And the line shows you how much they fucking respect her, because even though she is, has a quick turnaround, she's still minus 370.
Jesus, I did not expect that to be that wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a stay away. I'm not betting that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next fight, though, is another parlay piece and an easy fight to call. Danny Roberts, Hot Sauce Robert versus Ramazan Emeev. Danny Roberts is not good, and Ramazan Emeev is good.
Very good.
Yeah, that's the breakdown, guys.
He's a fucking killer.
Yeah. So Emeev, he does fight safe. I'll say that. He's not the most fun to watch. He's willing to just be the counter striker. He'll let you throw first, and he picks you apart on the feet. And when he's finished doing that, he likes to push you against the cage and take you down. He's one of those guys that when he does get you down, though, he's kind of just looking to hold you there. He doesn't really care about doing damage. He just cares about winning fights, and it works. I have a feeling this will be Robert's last fight in the UFC. He won his last fight against Emeev, the fake Russian. Emeev's not good.
Right.
And the UFC, I think, wanted to get rid of Danny Roberts, honestly, and they were like, fuck it, throw him another Russian. Just give him another one.
We'll keep throwing Russians at him till he quits.
Right. So I think Ramazan Emeev, you could feel very safe with putting him in any parlay. He's not going to lose. Next fight, we finally have one that I really like in Andrew Sanchez versus Bruno Silva. Sanchez is a guy that we here have been a little higher on than I feel like most people. He's a tough winner. He beat Khalil Roundtree in the finale of Tough. He's a wrestler, 4-time All-American. He lost his last fight by flying knee to the gay porn star.
Yes. The Uzbek.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Yeah, but before that, he knocked out Wellington Turman. But what I like most about Andrew Sanchez is he moved to AKA, and he's now training with Javier Mendez and Coach Khabib. And he's going to get back to his wrestling roots. He kind of left out his wrestling. He's been striking with most guys. He's had cardio issues, but the way Khabib is training these guys, none of his guys have cardio problems. I think the
No.
move to AKA is perfect for Andrew Sanchez. He is a
Yeah.
slight dog in this fight, and he's going to get back to his wrestling against a guy in Bruno Silva who got out wrestled by Wellington Turman in his last
Yes.
fight. Not good.
Yep. Yeah. Both have wins over Wellington Turman, and Andrew Sanchez's last 2 losses are against top tier guys. The gay porn star in Muradov, and then he lost to Marvin Vittori in 2019.
Right. Not bad losses. And Bruno Silva, yes, he did get a first round TKO against Wellington Turman, but go watch that fight. He was losing all the way up to winning that fight. He was getting out wrestled by Wellington Turman.
Yes.
That's not good.
Yeah. Wrong guy is favored in this one.
Yeah, I love Andrew Sanchez. We're going to be hammering
Yes.
Andrew Sanchez.
And it's a nice, juicy plus 125 dog play right now.
Absolutely love it. Next fight, I'm going to need your opinion on here, Scott, because I do not know what to do. Julian Marquez versus Jordan Wright. What do you think of this one?
Julian Marquez is actually pretty good. I don't know if he warrants the minus 230 line on him right now. His last win, this is when he almost killed Sam Alvey. When Sam Alvey wouldn't tap, when he shaved the smiley face into his head. And we thought that was going to be his last fight if he lost. And he said, all right, fuck it, I'm not tapping. You got to kill me.
Right.
And he almost did.
Yeah, the only thing, Julian Marquez, he's got good subs. I just don't think he's that good
subs
anywhere. He's got decently heavy hands. He's training under James Krause. Coach, you know, we like to bet James Krause guys.
Yes. This is my thoughts on Marquez. Is he's pretty good everywhere. He's not great anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. He was losing to Mackie Patolo before he had the comeback sub.
Yes.
So I don't know. And then Jordan Wright, offensively, the kid's great. He's 12-1 with his one loss to Joaquin Buckley. Not a horrible loss.
No.
He looked great against Jamie Pickett, fucking kneeing the shit out of him. Got the KO.
Yeah, first round KO.
He's got a karate style with really good power, great knees in the clinch. One thing I saw is on his Instagram, he's been training with Derek Brunson leading up to this fight. I think he thinks that Marquez is going to try to take him down, and he's probably not wrong. So I like that he got a wrestler into camp. I think this is going to be a stay-away fight for me. It's either take the dog or don't bet it, in my opinion.
Right. Definitely zero value on Julian Marquez, and if you're gonna lay the minus 230 juice, do it on Manon and Fiorot.
Completely agree.
If you're looking to lay that juice, there's better fighters to do it on.
And we already broke that fight down 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
Manon Fiorot versus Mayra Bueno Silva. It's a striker versus grappler. Everybody I'm seeing is saying that Mayra Bueno Silva is better than people are saying. And you know what? She probably is. But Manon Fiorot is better than people are saying too.
Right.
Manon
There's a reason they call her the beast.
She's a monster.
Yeah.
She's going to be too big for Silva to take down. So Silva's not going to be able to use that sub game. And I know Silva has been hurting people on the feet, but none of them have been the striker that Manon is. I think Manon gets this done inside the distance. She's another parlay piece, and I think that's a great 3-team parlay right there in Manon, Emeev, and who's our last? Our other Ludovit. I love that. That is a great 3-team parlay.
That's a perfect can't lose parlay.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. Next fight, our boy Jim Miller.
Yes.
Erick Gonzalez. So everyone knows Jim Miller. We don't need to tell you about him. I do think one narrative that I've been hearing about Jim Miller that I don't necessarily agree with is that he's a one-round fighter now. I think he's better than that, and that's a little disrespectful for our boy Jim Miller.
Yes. I don't like that.
No. Jim Miller is one of the best fighters ever, and that's just a fact. He's got some of the most fights in the UFC. And he's a beast. He lost to Joe Selecki and Vince Pichel, but they're also beasts.
From Hell Pichel is no slouch.
From what I've
I'll
seen
tell you
from
that much.
from what I've seen from Erick Gonzalez, is he's a striker. He's got long arms, but he's 2-1 in his last three, with his one loss coming to, I don't know if you remember him, former UFC fighter Humberto Bandenet. He was one of the worst fighters to ever be in the UFC. He's horrible, and this guy lost to him.
Oh boy.
I think that Gonzalez is going to get a little reckless. He's going to be swinging for the fences. Jim Miller is going to be outboxing him on the feet, and Jim Miller is going to be able to get a takedown whenever he wants. And this kid going against the experienced grappler and Jim Miller is going to be
the crafty veteran.
He's going to be in trouble on the ground. I got Jim Miller by sub.
Easy.
Yeah, I love it. I love that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
a
really
good spot
good
for Jim
one.
Miller.
Oh yeah. And that brings us already to our co-main. Yeah. We got Andrei Arlovski versus Carlos Felipe. Do you have thoughts on this one, Scott?
Well, the line has come down a little bit from yesterday. Carlos Felipe was minus 125. He's now minus 115. And I think I like Felipe even more now that he's minus 115.
I agree. Andrei Arlovski has become a point fighter. He goes for leg kicks. He tries to be very technical, which he can be. It's a complete 180 from how he used to fight back in his prime. Yes. We lost money when he beat Chase Sherman in his last fight, but Chase Sherman's terrible. That was a bad bet on us.
We were definitely wrong on Chase Sherman.
Yeah. So Andrei Arlovski, with his career resurgence, he's a smart fighter, has great fight IQ, but he's fighting a guy in Felipe who's going to be the much faster man. I know Felipe's a little small for the division. He's kind of fat, but he's very, very fast. And he hits pretty hard enough, I think, to hurt Andrei Arlovski.
Yeah. And, I mean, it should be noted that Andrei Arlovski was one of the best heavyweights of all time, probably.
For sure, yeah.
Not anymore, though.
Nope. I think this is Carlos Felipe all day. I love the line. Love the line.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Arlovski's last couple of fights, he's got wins over no names and Chase Sherman. But then anyone who's halfway decent, like Tom Aspinall and Jorginho Rosenstrike, he gets
they get
beat almost immediately.
Yeah, I don't know how good Carlos Felipe is, but I think a 26-year-old Felipe beats a 42-year-old Arlovski.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our main event, which is not nearly the best fight on the card, in Aspen Ladd versus Norma Dumont. Aspen Ladd with the scary weight miss 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
She's moving up in weight for this fight. It is at a higher weight class. But taking Aspen Ladd after she almost died 2 weeks ago, I don't know if that's smart.
I don't think it is.
Yeah. Normally, if that weight cut did not happen, this fight just appeared out of nowhere, I would be betting Aspen Ladd. I think she's more athletic. I think she's more explosive. And I think she beats Norma Dumont. But
you can't not talk about the almost kidney failure of 2 weeks ago.
Right, and it just happened. And weight cuts do affect you a little bit longer than 2 weeks. Norma Dumont, she's also pretty good. She trains out of Syndicate MMA. She's 6-1 with her one loss coming to Megan Anderson. And the thing about Megan Anderson that gave Norma Dumont problems was her size. And that won't be the case here because Aspen Ladd's coming up in weight. Norma Dumont should be the bigger fighter. I think this is going to be a decision, and I think Norma Dumont wins it.
Yeah, I think Aspen Ladd probably, if it goes 5 rounds, she's gonna gas.
Agreed. I don't
think she's got the gas tank.
She probably burns herself out round 1.
Right.
And you know what? Maybe you're right. It's a 5-round fight. Aspen Ladd might get finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think Aspen Ladd should stay at 145. I think if she wants to move up, she can pack on another 5 pounds of muscle, and she'd probably fight for a title in a year.
Yeah, and she's super talented. It's just she has all these problems with her weight. And I'm sick of the excuses. I mean,
right.
You missed.
And the 145 division is so thin. Like, if she beats Megan Anderson, she's going to get a shot.
Right. Yeah. This is a stay away. I'm not going to be betting
Yeah.
the main event here.
Yeah.
Just because I do think Aspen Ladd's probably the better fighter, but with the weight problems, I think Norma Dumont's going to win. So I'm staying away.
I like that.
Yeah. Were you able to make a DraftKings lineup?
I was not yet, but we can tweet it out. I'll make
All
one
right.
later today.
All right. That's it. Let's win some money this week. Again, sign up for the email list. You get my full fight notes. I take these while I do tape study. They're the raw notes. Hopefully, they give you the nugget you need to be a little bit more confident in your bet. And if you don't make your own bets, you could just tail ours because I send you our picks for free as well.
Yep. Awesome. All right,
All
buddy.
right.
Take care.
See you.